All right.
I see.
So yeah, this is why you've been dying.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just too old.
No. Nice.
Before I was just like wide peeking,
Yeah,
try to trace the head and try to out aim them. But now I'm just, you know, pre-aiming.
Oh. Nice. That was good. Nice. Good white peek.
Okay.
Nice shot.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much for your time, Konpeki.
Oh, no worries. It's a pleasure to be here. So when you started on the program, you said you were
Iron 3, Bronze 1. I was like going back and forth
Iron
between.
3, Bronze 1.
Yeah.
Then you hit Silver 3. And then since then, you've been able to climb even more and hit Plat. So that's awesome. Seems like we're struggling the most on Lotus and Fracture.
Yeah.
But on Split. So tell me, like, what do you feel like you struggle with the most on some of these maps? Been on a nice win streak, though.
I think I struggle on Lotus the same reason I used to struggle on Haven. It has 3 sites, and in terms of like map awareness, Icebox was like really easy to keep track of where we have space and where enemy has space. And I noticed that like on map like Haven or Lotus,
It's a lot harder.
it's hard to keep aware of where all my teammates are and what they're doing to immediately like understand what's going on.
Okay, how about we do this? So just taking a look at Lotus, right? You mentioned that you have trouble on this map because it's a 3-site map. And my guess, if I were just to say something initially, is that yes, like it's very similar to Haven, but also very different in the sense that there's like the rotating doors and also like breakable doors that allow for really fast like rotations. This choke point on A and this choke point on C are also very, very tight. And so whether you're attacking or defending, if you don't have either one of these spaces contested for, then it quickly becomes very difficult to keep track of where opponents are, right? Like on Haven, for instance, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lanes, right? To actually enter the site. And with Haven, if you get control over A main, for instance, it eliminates like one of the lanes that you have to watch, right? It's basically 2 lanes in one. So if you get either, let's say, early A main control, or even like have a Cypher cam, you know, cam deep on C and you get like C long control, well then that allows your teammates to shift a little more over to one or the other sides, right? And vice versa, if you're attacking, if you want the enemies to stop rotating so fast, and you know, like how often does this happen to you where you try to go A and then you guys just like run down short, you guys run down long, but then there's like a site smoke, or I don't know if you see a site smoke very often in your rank, but you know, you might get like smoked off and then you already hear like enemies, you know, rotating over to A, and then now there's like 3 or 4 people on A, right?
Yeah, it's very, very common.
Yeah, and then you guys just like sit here like, oh, do we go out? Do we not go out? And then the round's just over. So if you don't want that to happen on Haven, like we got to get control over some other parts of the map. That's why people throw like the Cypher cage, or in VCT, you'll even see like a cage like this sort of. So now the short players or the long players like have no idea if you're either coming out long or crossing over to short.
I see.
So this way, like it creates more question marks for the enemies, and at least like forces defenders to at least keep 1, if not 2 people still on A, right? Or mid control is also fine, right? Just even breaking this garage door, like throwing some kind of util into garage can keep people a little bit more planted towards C and B. You know, there's a lot of different pathways now. So that's the principle behind Haven.
Also, quick break before we go into how to play Lotus in depth. If you want to level up your game and go through the same coaching program as NattyAim, you can get high-level coaching from Radiant and VCT coaches inside the Immortal Roadmap program, where we promise 500 RR in 10 weeks, guaranteed, or your money back. If that interests you, click the link in the description to book a call where we'll check your tracker and see if you'd be a good fit.
If we take this over to Lotus, right, it's the same thing if you look at the lanes. And actually, you can simplify it even more. Like, just from the attacker's standpoint, how many lanes are there?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's just like one. Yeah, it's very simple, right? 1, 2, 3. So just starting off as an attacker, it feels like there's not a lot you can work with just yet, right? So then how do we create more lanes?
I think if you have rubble space or like mound on C long, it gives you more options to, shift around the map.
Yeah, exactly. Because now once you get rubble control, like you said, you guys have the option to now go into C or open the door, go into B, right? If you get rubble control, right now there's actually like 1 or 2 lanes. And that could split off into going through tree, going through main, right? Or even, going back, even the option to go breakable, right?
Right.
So that's why on Lotus, you see this so often where people fight for rubble so much. Because if attackers do get a hold of this rubble space, then the attackers now have so many different options of where they want to go, right? And oftentimes, defenders kind of throw this smoke here in main.
Right.
And now they're just holding the smoke, but they're wondering, are these guys going to continue to go A? Or are they now going all the way back and going C? Or going back B? Or are they going to break this? You have so many options. And that's why I'd say Lotus is a really big attacker-sided map because it's actually very easy to manipulate rotations in such a big map like this. So then as a defender, knowing that it's quite attack-sided with the different options that open up if attackers, let's say, get control over these neutral areas of the map, like what do you think would be good for defenders to do?
For defenders to
counter that. Yeah, to counter that.
I guess to, fight for that neutral space on C mound and A rubble, especially.
Yeah. And a lot of times, like in ranked, maybe there's like a couple lurkers here and there. But most of the time, like even in higher ranks, people just kind of do like a 4 or 5 man rush, right?
Yeah.
So
it's very common to do a rush.
Yeah. So what you can do is, let's say Cypher's on C, right? Ask him to cam this, look into long and ask him to like trip this deep if they're not coming C. And now you guys don't even have to worry about a lurk, right? You guys don't even have to worry about a lurk. You can just rotate off towards B. If they open door, I mean, sure, like that's another trip. That's another trigger for you guys to be able to rotate back to C, right? That's like one option because oftentimes 60-70% of the rounds, people like to go A, right? I'll notice. So if the attackers are not respecting this cam, they're not breaking it, then Cypher, all he has to do is just like put that trip down. We don't have to worry about this side because we'll know if they open door. And then he just leaves. And now you guys literally have like 2 players towards B, 3 players towards A, maybe even 1 other player shifts over to A. So now it's literally like a 1-4 stack, right?
Right.
And then now you guys can fight like with so much util over on A main that if the attackers do try to gain this rubble space, you guys are most likely going to win just based off of numbers. And even if you get smoked off and they try to go, link over to B, well, you guys can also shift over pretty fast, right? And you have even more people towards B anyways to begin with. So it might be like a 2-3 split again.
Is the Cypher trip like right before the C mound, like in the tight choke, common?
No, it's not very common, but it's something that I do. It works.
Like I understand how that's like very powerful, but in my elo, I never see like a Cypher playing aggressively and taking space, like on defense. They always like trip.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, they do very passive setups like this.
Right.
They do very passive setups, and in ranked, like sure, this is fine if you want to anchor, right? And if they've been slamming C, yeah, like doing this kind of trip is just gonna get broken, right? Or even doing this cam, you get that early info, but now you have to kind of like huddle up, and try to hold down sight. But this kind of trip here and getting this early info is if you know that they've just been kind of rushing the other site. So if you know this, even as a solo queue player, you're not playing ISO, right? But you can just tell your Cypher like, hey, they've been going A a lot. Can you try to just cam C long or even like throw a deep trip, and then you can just rotate off of C and help us on B or A. Like pretty simple stuff, right? And even if they don't listen, like, or even if they don't understand this deep trip, you can still just tell them like cam C long. If you don't see anyone, then just rotate over.
I see.
Yeah. So it's about being adaptable.
I see.
Yeah. Let's take a look at your VOD. Do you have a link for that, or do we pull up your previous stream? I think I found it. Is it this one?
Okay.
So start on A. Okay. Team comp. We have. Oh my gosh. We have Harbor. Nice. Harbor Sage. Play it. I'll just play it. So I'd say too early to pop the shield here. As soon as Jet died, I'd just be like jiggling and just seeing and just trying to get info. Because I don't know if they're like fighting for the space even more after that pick.
Yeah, I agree. I should pop my shield when I'm like committed to a fight.
Because I don't have it. That's unfortunate. Oh,
Fucking
nice
bulldog, man.
Maybe you can like jump spot this because you're at a disadvantage here. Anyways, with the classic, right? Like so there's no point in trying to peek like this. In higher elo, everyone likes to buy like outlaw, at least, like especially on this map, someone's gonna be buying an outlaw, right? If you just peek like this on C or A, you're gonna insta die. So get used to like jump peeking here, get used to asking Fade for the util, something. And then pop your shield, because I know earlier I was like, hey, like I think you popped the shield a little too early. But here you guys don't have that much util, right? And you gotta at least try to get something to happen.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And yeah, unfortunately we just kind of lined up. Yeah, let's not care too much about like what teammates do.
Yeah. Dude, these guys are dumbass 1, dumbass number 2, dumbass number 3.
Nice. You smell the rat. And it's good because you guys don't have a info sentinel. Okay, but we gotta go now.
Sometimes I care too much about what my teammates are doing.
Okay, so in a situation like this, I can't see the map, but I did notice that we walled like this, and stairs isn't smoked off anymore, right? You killed Clove, and now we're just worried about Reyna, right? Reyna was a C player last round, so there's a good chance either Reyna is also flanking or going stairs or heaven, right? That's basically the only options. But the way you check flank here, a little bit scary. Because look right here.
Right, because of stairs.
Yeah, you're overexposed, right? Your teammates aren't holding that. So here, just before you make a play in these types of situations, you're man up, take a quick glance at the minimap and just see where your teammates are holding. And just see, okay, well, I want to cover one part of the map, but if it means I'm positioning myself to overexpose myself, I'm not going to go there. So here, you're kind of out and alone by yourself. So what do you think is your best bet here?
Peek flank like at a shallower angle so that I don't expose myself to stare.
Yeah, I would probably try to like tuck in more to your right and just hold a passive angle and just kind of like align yourself, and then peek off of like your teammate's contact or something like on stairs.
I see.
Like this is good. Like this is good. This is good. Like this kind of position is what I was thinking about.
I see. I think what you just mentioned is type of the information processing that I'm lacking, like during the round. My teammates were holding sight, and I need to be aware that I'm exposing myself to stairs.
Yeah, so just slow down even. Like before you try to peek something, especially if like you're... Because like in those situations, after you got that clove, I can sense there's like a little bit of panic, right? Where it's like, okay, where's the last guy, you know? So whenever you feel that way, it's better just to tuck, quickly look at the map, assess that information quickly, and then, you know, you can figure out what to do. But if we just rush into doing whatever, then that can cause us to make some mistakes.
I see.
Okay. Fine. Nice. They've been promo flanking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay. Here, we know generally where the chamber was if we looked at the map before peeking. And let's take a look at this peek here too. I know pre-aiming is really useful, right? But I would say pre-aiming is the best when you're using it for common angles. Here, we have no idea where the chamber is. We have a general idea, but he could have moved a little. He could have shifted a little more to the left, over to the right. And so notice what happens here. Like, you're pre-aimed, but he's completely out in the open, right? And he already sees you here. We didn't counter strafe properly here. And so the first bullet missed. But this guy had so much more time to actually shoot at you than you did for him. And so here, this is a good time to actually slice the pie and jiggle it. So I'll show you what I mean by that. Let me just demonstrate it. So first off, when you are clearing door, you should spam this, and then you should be jiggling this, right? Like, use this to jiggle and take the fight. Pop shield here, and use this as cover, right? And then once it's all cleared, you peek, and then you can kind of... Do you see how I'm slicing the pie?
Yes.
Like a little bit short, deeper, 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 like that. And so instead of wide swinging into this guy and being like, oh shoot, he's out in the open, because that's what happens a lot, where we over peek and our crosshair's not ready, and we don't want that, right? It's just peek a little wider, peek a little wider, and each time I'm just adjusting my crosshair a little bit to the left, and then peeking. And once it's at the tip, like this, around this corner, I just get back, move a little to the left, peek out again, peek out again, peek out again, peek out again.
That makes much more sense.
Yeah.
Instead of like full swinging, committing to a duel.
Yeah.
I think the reason I started like wide peeking and pre-aiming is because when I like try to slice the pie, sometimes I just get one tapped in the head. And I'm like, I don't know, swing full speed that I don't get tapped when somebody's holding an angle. I think the way you're doing it, like you're counter strafing and going back a little bit. So I think that would work better for me.
This is like the safest way to peek, in my opinion.
When would be a situation where I would like swing full speed?
I think it's good when you know you've kind of thrown off someone's crosshair placement, or you've kind of thrown off some of their shots. Because I don't know if you remember, but when we saw this fight, like the Reyna whiffed a few bullets, but you also kind of whiffed a few bullets. Let's say you shot and then you jiggled this, right? And then the Reyna started shooting at you. Well, then maybe like you kind of go for like a pre-fire here, and then you can go for like a wide peek or something, right?
I see.
Or like shoot and then just like peek even wider.
Right. Right.
But that's like if you know for a fact like they're there, right? And it's easy for you to track. But there's no point in wide peeking if you also have to like adjust your crosshair quickly and shoot them.
So if I like jump spot first or jiggle first, I know they're holding like really close to the wall.
Yeah.
And maybe I can just, standard peek.
Yeah.
Or like pre-aim.
Think about it.
Over there.
This angle is closer to me as well than the guy from here. So if I do another like standard peek, I'm at a disadvantage.
Right.
So I'm actually going to be pre-firing through the wall. Because they're from their POV, I'm like shooting them from here, basically. Right? It's because I don't see their character model first. So I can pre-fire them, and then that might get them to actually like spray here. And then as you're shooting me, I might then like swing out and fight them.
I see.
Yeah. Alright, let's go back to the VOD. Okay, so notice here too, right? Did you notice your crosshair placement?
Yeah, I'm off.
Not ready. And then we should be kind of slicing the pie here. We're kind of rounding out this corner right now. And then take a look at this. This was a little bit worse. We're aiming into the wall. We're exposed here. We're exposed here. We're exposed all the way here. Right? And then... So I think we have a habit of... It's interesting because here, like, you're actually rounding out the corner, but at least tracing the edges. But then when we're peeking out, we're not we're not even tracing the edge. Like we're aiming too much into the wall.
Right.
Like we're aiming into the wall again here when you should be worried about this. Should be worried, you know. And so we're not ready and then we die. Okay. Going back to the game, I'll just show you again how I would clear this. Coming here, this is a very common angle. Because someone could just be crouched, holding, and then leaving, right?
Right.
So I'm 100% gonna like use a T-roll, stand back, right? Like jiggle this, and then kind of slice the pie. Maybe hold this because now I could trace. Since if anyone is holding this like angle,
Yeah,
this
I see
corner
their
is now
shoulder
yeah,
first.
yeah. So I can trace. But then now I have to step back, and then I have to jiggle this again, right? Like there's usually if there's like a killjoy, there's also like turrets here. Like just being mindful of all these off angles, especially since we don't have any info and we're just peeking dry. All right. And then we can peek, maybe like, so this is a situation where it's like high low and it's kind of tough. So I would like pre-aim a little, jiggle low, check high, check low, check high. You see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I would be clearing it. So we're revealing little parts of the map one by one instead of looking at the wall and then peeking out.
Yeah, I think I was not thinking about all the angles that you mentioned. Instead, I just thought about CT and try to pre-aim that and Y swing, which, yeah, you taught me it's not the right thing to do. I should, you know, slice the pie, like jiggle each angle.
Yeah. Only if you're peeking dry and you're trying to clear open spaces. Okay. That was a good call to go link.
Yeah, I went stairs there for a second because Fade ulted, and I thought,
Yeah, you guys could have also gone site too, but again, you didn't have a tree control, so it's a little scary too.
right.
Okay, so here, instead of having to kind of like watch both angles at once, just try to position yourself so you just only have one angle to worry about. Like if you just move a little to the right, then it isolates that angle, right? It just cuts it into one.
A-link, A-link.
Last player standing.
Unfortunate. We don't have the map here, but if you had just been tucked in and not worried about if I'm gonna get peeked from left and right, that would free up a lot of your mental real estate to be able to check your mini map, right?
Right.
You could even just be jiggling this like angle and you don't have to like shoot back or anything because you could always fall back to a different angle if they start pushing you, but this is a pretty deep angle anyways. So while you're jiggling, you can just look at the map and see where people are fighting. Well, there was 3 on site that was ulted, and so personally for me, unless one person already flanked, there's a very low chance that anyone's gonna flank anyways. I would just be trying to help your teammate on site. Like you still have your vulnerable too.
Yeah, I think my mental level was so high at this point, I wasn't even aware that Chamber and Reyna was ulted.
Player standing.
But it doesn't even matter like if they were ulted or not. The point is, if your teammates are all getting just crunched on site, I think they got crunched from Link and they got crunched from Heaven. You want to be there to support them.
I see.
Or like in this situation, you're smoked off. Maybe your best bet is not to like just have our util out anymore,
Player standing.
but wait for the tap. Because now they have to clear you. Like they don't know if you're left side or right side. So maybe that's a good chance for you to like get one kill and then use your vulnerable and take the last guy out.
That makes more sense, yeah.
Because at this point, like it was too late to try to like get back on site and help your teammates. They're all dead.
Yeah.
So here now we have to be careful of how we're running. Because so by the time you were holding B,
Yeah, they could be anywhere
they
on
could,
C-Long.
or they definitely could have walked up mound. Reyna has done that
Right.
before. So unless like you want them to know that you're coming back C, like they could be already like up towards the orb.
Yeah.
Because it's been 7-8 seconds now. There's
Right.
just minor things, but again, like this is timing. You have to be aware of like how much space they could have taken within a set number of time.
Yeah, I think I do die a lot because of not being aware of how many seconds it's been since the.
Show me a target. No distractions.
Nice. Nice shot.
Thank you.
Won all your ults.
That's the end.
That's huge. So your raw aim like isn't bad. I think it's like the awareness part of our crosshair placement. Well, that's what we got to work on most.
We'll catch them.
We'll hold flank.
Reloading.
Okay, so you don't need to watch flank anymore because now your harbor is
Right.
like holding deep.
Yeah, like
So-
couple water.
So now I would actually turn my attention away from holding a flank and put it towards sight. Because you guys are playing post plant from mount, and that's fine. But think about it, the longer you stall on sight as well and get them to use util, easier for your team as well for the post plant. So like use your vulnerables. Just at this point, you can make things really chaotic on sight for these guys to apply more pressure.
It's planet for main. It's planet for main. Smoked off. Smoked off.
Okay.
I'm gonna vulnerable and push.
Destabilizing.
So someone could be in the smoke.
Making cover.
I haven't tapped yet.
One enemy
Nice.
remaining.
We got it.
Team A.
Okay.
Nice.
Now this.
Yeah, I think being aware of like these micro decisions that you're mentioning, like during mid round, would be huge for me.
I think we're not
Yeah.
using our util enough. My team is already deep. I could see the cone, right? They're holding very deep. Then
Right.
I would immediately like come here and probably like jiggle this, right? Just jiggle this,
I
like
see.
make it annoying, and then if they're pushing me, like I could back up, like vulnerable them, like make them scared, or like save my vulnerable, or like hold this, and then be like, hey, I'm a vulnerable on tap.
Breaking them.
And then you guys, it's like easier to spam. So I think we're too fixated on our aim and crosshair at some times. Like, okay, well,
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about this anymore, so I'm just gonna focus on what's in front of me.
Destabilizing.
Throw this,
Making cover.
you know, like
Yeah.
just be annoying, basically. Okay.
Yeah, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. Like create pressure towards sight because my flank is basically safe already.
Yeah.
Nightmare, take them. Bring them down.
Cool. So you see where the dogs are going? You could just look at them through the wall and vulnerable wherever it's going. It's also really good.
Making cover.
Okay.
Be faster. Reloading.
Spike planted.
Nice. Your team is using good util though.
Right there. Wave crashing.
Oops.
Breaking them.
Yeah, that's good. That was perfect, right?
One enemy remaining.
Buys a little bit more time.
Nice.
And assist. Nice.
Yeah, a little bit too early
Unlucky.
on my shield. Left.
Ooh. So Chamber played that off angle there before, right?
Yeah.
So again, this is where our cross replacement. There's no need to look at the smoke anymore. We just need to worry
Yeah.
about breakable.
Yeah, left side. Yeah. Left.
Spike.
All right. Honestly, not bad though. 6-6. Ooh, we like the sheriff buy.
I can't remember if I died here. Probably did. I think I tucked into the break. Yeah.
Oh, into.
A.
It was nice that you got a kill, but you have to remember that 1-for-1 trades usually favor the attackers, especially if a map is attack sided.
Right.
And for ISO, you have undercut, right? The vulnerable. And so personally for me, I really like buying ghost and vulnerable on defender side because if people are running in, you can hear their audio, right?
That makes sense.
You hear their audio, you just throw this, and they're either gonna have to like respect it and wait 3 seconds for them to not be vulnerable and then re-hit. And during that 3 seconds, that's still a pretty decent amount of time to buy for your team to rotate over and help you. But if not, it's only 2 body shots with a ghost. Same thing as a sheriff, right? So I really like the ghost, and because you can shoot faster, helps you get the shield a lot easier. Because we couldn't, it took us a couple tries to even hit the shield, right? The shield
Right.
orb. That's one thing. But if you were in this situation, let's say like you got one here in the open, I personally would not have tried to continue swinging left. Because if you swing left, then you're exposing yourself to even deeper angles, right?
Right.
And so by the time you're trying to run away, you're like 100% dead at that point.
Yeah.
So what you can do is just tuck back in, and yes, they're gonna see your shoulder if they try to swing out like this, but ask for a smoke, you know? Just tuck in, and then hey, like I'm stuck here, smoke me off, and then they're probably gonna spam the crap out of the smoke, right? Because they know you're stuck here. Just wait for the spam, and then try to like cross back. Or you keep playing in that position and you ask your teammate to bait you. So those are your options. I think sometimes ISO is really good if your fade, like instead of Prowler, bought like a Seize, and then you throw like a vulnerable like this, and then your Jet and Fade decides to fight Rubble. Also very strong. Because now Breach can't flash. Maybe he can like ride at the start, but he'll only be able to either flash or stun. He has to choose between the two. Because afterwards he's vulnerable.
Yeah, he can only throw one of them.
Yeah, one or the other.
Vulnerable.
Or even this angle right here is really good. I'll show you. Now Lotus is going to be your best map.
I think so. Sorry, I'm taking so much of your time today.
No, you don't need to apologize. I blocked out like 3 hours for this, at least.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're good, you're good. I want to do a thorough job. So, yeah, you could either do this, break the door, and then take a fight, or you did this, right? Take the fight, tuck in, wall, wait for them to finish spamming, and then kind of fall back. Or you can just play like a pixel angle, take that fight. Especially if you didn't communicate with your team that you're gonna be fighting for this space, then just let them waste util and like play sight. You can just be jiggling this angle or holding this angle. I think a great off angle is actually right here. If they don't go door, this is really good because when people are walking out, they're worried about stairs, they're worried about backside, they're worried about heaven, and then boom, you're right there. Right?
Yeah.
So this is a pretty good off angle too. You get one, leave, and then play tree, and just kind of like go back and forth.
Destabilizing.
Take the fight. Okay?
Okay. Got it.
And when you're scaling up A, if you don't want to get spammed through the smoke, like
Stopping fire.
I think it's always good to even like have this wall up to isolate this breakable fight.
Making cover.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that makes much more sense. To see.
So instead of rotating that way, probably faster to go where Harper went.
Yeah.
Take hold.
They broke door.
It could be up A too. So here, gun out for sure. They could be upstairs.
I see.
Instinct. What's
I
up?
think here I just assumed everybody was C, and if I go knife out and run to stairs, I could just beat them to this angle and just preempt this. But yeah, you're right. Somebody could have been walking up A main.
Like a chamber or just whoever
Yeah.
else.
Careful, C. They're not coming.
This is I could see.
Nice.
So there's also time. Like if
Seconds left.
Sage, okay, we get a kill on A. If we don't hear anything else on A, because look at the time. Like it's 12 seconds. They have to be running to site. So
10 seconds left.
Sage gets this kill. I'm like instantly running A.
One enemy remaining.
Because they're most likely doubled up running to site.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Water rising.
Take hold.
Destabilizing.
Okay, that was good.
Be a target.
Where are
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, be careful here. They could be like out wide now. So instead of aiming at the wall, we gotta look.
Looks like a fake though. No, it's not C. It's not.
Say like we're waiting, but we're not ready for someone to fight us and peek. Just looking at the wall.
Right. Understood. Understood.
Like you don't know if it's just Jet, and Jet could. You don't know if Jet's just walking out wide. Oh, this is.
Oh shit. Yeah, Clove walk through B.
Yeah, unlucky.
30
Heaven.
seconds left.
Nice shot.
That's the last one.
Yeah, so as you're rotating, just look at the map. Oh, you are looking at the map. But if you know there could have been a gap because there's like no wall mid, there's no trip mid, just and your team has like complete A site control. It's 3 people towards A. You're a C player, so you just have to worry about B. That's it. Right. So for all I know, like this clove could have also gone like this way or like this way, or had a timing. Yeah, just be careful here, especially when you're rotating from here to here. Look at the map and see if you guys have info. If you have someone like holding this, or like someone, if your teammate is like heaven or your teammate's like stairs, then that eliminates the possibility of you of anyone like sneaking in. So yeah, then you can just knife out rotate. But if everyone is like here, then always like by the time you're rotating here spawn, have your gun out.
1C.
Oh, this is such a good bait actually by your teammate. Okay, pop shit. Oh, actually, okay. I was about to be like, oh, I don't know if popping shield actually they could just swing you while you're popping shield. That was good.
Yeah, I got a little bit lucky there.
Okay, nice. I like the bait by Sage. Okay, we gotta stun a little, or not stun, vulnerable a little bit earlier than that, because they could already be out. Okay.
Yeah.
It literally takes 2-3 seconds to peek here. So just take a look at this.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, they could already be out.
Yeah.
So personally, that's why I like throwing the vulnerable from Link, because it hits them way faster too.
That makes sense. Yeah, I never do that. I should start doing that. Reaches at 120. Rubble.
Warranty. Okay. Teammates just util dumped them. Fatal. Harbor roll.
Fast, safe, fast.
I'm coming.
Destabilizing.
Okay. I would only vulnerable if they broke the wall.
I'm coming.
So you could look at the map, and best time to vulnerable is as they're coming out, right?
Yeah.
Destabilizing.
So if you know wall is still up, there's no point, because they're already stalled.
Yeah, I think I only recognized that the wall was not broken after I after I peeked into that angle.
So you're in total
Yeah.
cover right now. So before you use your util, or when you're using util, just look at the map. Just quickly glance
Okay.
before you do it, and then it'll help you just aim it better and know the timing for it.
Yeah, breach out.
Oh, you know what I would have done here? Okay, well let's see what you do. Okay. Okay.
Bring them down. Spike down. C. One enemy remaining.
All right, nice.
GG's.
Good game, guys.
That was really good.
Yeah, I was holding for their push like up the ramp on C, but I don't know, my teammate skilled up and just like killed everyone. So
Yeah. Why do you think they scaled up though? And why do you think it worked? I think that's important to actually know.
I actually don't know.
Okay. So I don't know if you noticed, but the breach just like
Over there.
completely did not stun this whole left side, right?
Right.
And so there's like a little bit of information asymmetry where the whole team on the attacker side thinks that this whole site is stunned, right? And I guess the only part that you have to worry about is this right side. Sage
I
thankfully
see.
was able to get these picks. So what I would have actually done is you pop shield, right? I would peek left and try to play this cross with Sage. And as soon as someone is out, you can vulnerable them
Destabilizing.
and then like take this angle here
I
and just
see.
crunch them even more. This whole site has been stunned. And so if they're coming out, they're probably gonna try to go here, right? It's like, oh, someone might be
Okay.
stunned left. They're probably gonna clear this real quick, but also their next place that they're gonna check is here. That hasn't been stunned. Sage somehow got 2. I don't know if she threw a slow or something, but she got 2. So while she is drawing aggro, I would peek with her, is what I'm saying.
I see.
So that's one way, okay? But let's say Sage dies because the enemies are smart and they know that the only place that didn't get stunned is by pillar, okay? So Sage dies, right? But because they technically stunned all of sight, they might not expect you to be out like this already, right? They might not expect you to be fully out on sight because they just stunned it, right? They don't expect someone to be peeking them. Don't be afraid to take fights when your shield is up because you kind of pop shield and then you just held this, right?
Yeah.
And that's fine, but if someone's good at the game, they're gonna just be framing this and like, who knows, they might just 2-tap you. If you just hold even like an angle like this, because your shield is wider than your actual character model, they're gonna see the shield first.
Right.
So it's
And
better
they can
just
break
to
the shield.
yeah, they'll just break the shield and then they'll slow you because breaking shield does slow your movement speed by quite a bit again now.
Right.
And so then there's a pretty good chance you actually lose this fight if they're ready for it.
Yeah.
So just from this coaching session, I want to ask you, like, what were the 3 biggest takeaways?
So first is the way I'm peeking. Instead of like fast swinging every angle trying to aim into the wall, I actually need to a lot of times slice the pie. And also being aware of like my enemy's map rotation. Like sometimes I just run through spawn, assuming no one's there with knife out.
Yeah, when you're rotating here, when you're rotating.
Yeah. One more thing is I don't use my wall enough to scale up or isolate fights. Like especially on C long or A long, I could have used the wall a lot more to prevent death. And I guess one more is like, I know this is fourth, but being more aware of like how much time has been elapsed since the round started and where they could be, because sometimes I'm like pre-aiming like the C long peak from spawn.
Good. I think just even working on the mechanics of crosshair placement, like the way you peek, is gonna make a huge difference already in your gunfights. I guarantee that.
Okay.
I think that's gonna be the single biggest thing that's gonna yield like instant results. I'd say like the moment you fix that, it's just gonna click, and then
Okay.
afterwards is just kind of like optimizing our util usage and just the decisions we make in the middle of fights, just like map awareness.
Yeah, thank you so much, Konpeki. I think, yeah, I will definitely work on the peeking mechanics that you taught me.
Yeah. Do you want to actually go into a death match and then we work on this together?
Maybe I can share my screen while playing a death match, and you can like seat me a little bit and like
Okay.
get feedback.
Sure. Let's do that.
Sorry, it's a little bit awkward for me because I never do this.
That was the right idea. Nice. Nice. Let's take our time to micro adjust.
Yeah. Should I be like ultra conscious about the technique that you taught me and like
Yeah,
not
let's
getting
focus
that
on
many
our
kills?
Yeah, let's just
Well,
focus on our
okay.
crosshair placement. We don't have to try to like run around so much, but just like each time you peek, yeah, like that. You see how you were able to isolate the fight on the brim
Yeah.
just from doing that? Yeah, it's okay. Like we're a little slow, but feel free to move a little like wider between each strafe too. Nice.
Okay.
That was good. Nice. Good white peek.
It's a little bit wider.
Yeah, like just when you hear them
like
running and they're you know they're gonna peek wide on you. So here,
Okay.
slice. Yep.
So slice. Like I should not be going for high kills right now, right? I
No.
should just
no.
okay.
Like their crosshair was a little bit off, like when we're peeking into breakable. Yeah. So if we're like tracing those edges, try to put more space.
Okay.
Like when you're running
see.
around a corner, yeah, you can like have it a little wide. But then if you're like slicing the pie, then you should be pre-aiming through the wall. Like that. Yeah, that's
Okay.
that would be pre-aim. But then when you're running, like yeah, you want to trace like that. But right now, you see how your cross is kind of glued to the corner, like as you're tracing?
Oh, a little bit wider.
Yeah, a little bit wider. Because if someone pops out on your screen, yeah, like that. Because if someone peeks out on your screen, then you want to be able to react, right?
Who else?
That felt better, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Slicing there.
And we're peeking like in little tiny stutter steps. So
Okay.
there I
So
think
more
the
like,
yeah, a little bit. Or try to like go in and out like in between each peak, like how I was showing you earlier. I know it's a little harder,
I
but
see.
just to be a little faster on the screen. Because I think there the KO killed you because your shoulder was peeking out first. Yeah, it's okay to like run around if like no one's there.
Okay.
Nice shot. But yeah, you get the idea there, right? Like because we're tracing a little wider away from the angle, like your crosshair was pretty much on cipher.
Yeah.
Just needed
like
to,
that.
yeah. Okay, cool. Not
So
bad
I
for a
would-
first try.
So I need to do the how do you call it? I need to emulate what you were doing, like in terms of peaking.
That would
Let me just
be,
practice.
yeah, that would be helpful.
If I was slicing this, I would be boom, boom.
But
Boom.
yeah, but the tip of our peak needs to be at the edge of the wall so that we're minimizing the amount of time that we're being shown on the enemy screen. Like that, yeah. So it's actually better to
like-
start a little bit more to the left of the wall, if that makes sense, so that you can have more movement speed.
So
Like
more
that, yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to practice this a little bit more to
Yeah.
kind of get it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
But does that feel better? Does that feel better? Like just clearing things?
Yes. It feels much more safer and
You're already getting
whatchamacallit.
it.
Should I be dead zoning the one shot when I peek?
You can, yeah, if you think there's someone there, like you can dead zone and shoot. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So you see how like OP this is, because if someone's holding you and you see them at the tip of your peak, you can just dead zone, shoot one bullet, and they just get one tapped. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can show you a
I mean,
drill as well, if
That
you'd
would be
like.
nice.
You've probably seen this drill. It's fine if you don't.
Barrier created.
But what I like to do is I like to use this as like a piece of cover that I'm peeking out from. So I try to just practice like making the peaks the tip of
I see.
the wall like that. You see how I'm pre-aiming a little bit more? And so I'm working on my movement so that I barely see the bot, you know, around the corner. And then I just shoot. Oh my god.
You want the dead zone to be right when your crosshair like crossovers the edge of the wall, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Cool. Do you want to play a deathmatch together? Oh wait, or should we go into a custom game and then we just practice it?
Actually, I think that's gonna be more
Yeah.
productive. Would you like to meet like a peek from tree or something, and you can hold some kind of an angle?
Nice. How did that
Was
feel?
that a okay peek or no?
Yeah, I think it was good. It kind of baited out my shot and I lost. That was good.
Did you see me ducking back or no?
Yeah, I did. So it feels better, huh?
Yeah, it does.
All right. Then
This like before I was just like
Yeah,
one peeking, try to trace the head and try to out aim them, but now I'm just
yeah,
pre-aiming
because if someone is
each angle.
already like looking at you and then I shoot and you're not ready, like your crosshair's not on me, then it's already too late, right?
Yeah,
I'm ready.
so I will go clear sight.
You can respawn.
I
So
see.
what do you think happened there? You were like, whoa.
Like what I noticed was when I was peeling this angle, like slicing the pie,
It
Kinda
went a
peeked
little
too
too
wide.
wide. Oh, okay.
too wide.
So yeah, this is why you've been dying. I'll let you know when I'm ready.
So I will go from tree and clear sight.
Yeah. All right.
I see. I'm not sure why I died there. Was my crosshair not ready?
It might be because I was crouched.
I don't know. I felt like I just didn't react. I should be able to kill you because I have Peeker's advantage, right?
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just too old.
No. So I've noticed that when you peek, like you're getting a little too close to this wall. Okay. So it's not a bad idea to kind of like fan out a little more wider like this.
Okay.
Like away from the wall. Yeah, because you're kind of like going in and out a little
Here.
too close to the wall. It's okay to like just take a step back, and then like if you notice that you're kind of getting close, just take a step back again and then peek again. Yeah, I'm ready to. Okay, good job.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
that's the idea, right? But that time when I saw you, I didn't move, right? But if I had moved,
I probably would have missed.
it would have been like normal gunfight. But yeah, just be prepared for that too, because they're not gonna just stand here in the same spot like I did just now. So something you can do is like go into customs as well and just like practice pre-firing like each of these angles too, just so.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I need to practice this and really get it down.
Oh, nice. That was good. Yeah, like I wasn't like fully ready and I just peeked out, but you were ready, so that's good. That's actually really good. Okay, all right, try this. Go.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
It's a little different, right? So you see how I can see your shoulder if I jiggle
Yeah.
this actually. So what you can do is like do a quick jiggle, and if I see you, I could just quickly like dead zone and tap you. And because I was standing this close, if you had actually kind of like hugged this wall after like checking all these angles, you would have seen me. You would have seen my shoulder, and you actually would have had the advantage there.
So I think the couple of times that I actually got the strafing method in custom, it felt like really, really good.
Yeah, so if you can do that consistently, that's definitely gonna take you to the next level. Okay, well, we'll call it here. Good luck on
Okay.
implementing everything, and hope you have a good rest of your stream. Thanks for having me, guys. And
Thank you so much, Konpeki,
Yeah.
for all your help.
No worries. My pleasure as well.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.